Hey everybody, this is Ishmael Kolia, Associate Broker with eXp Realty. I wanted to take a few minutes to talk about the difference between pre-approval and pre-qualifications. You may have heard these terms in your journey of looking for a house, and you may be wondering, what is the difference? Are they the same? So the truth of the matter is pre-qualifications and pre-approvals are not the same. They're actually two different documents, and they carry different level of weight and importance to your buyer agent, as well as to the listing agent, as well as to the seller. So let's get into it and let's talk about what is a pre-approval versus a pre-qualification. A pre-qualification is a document that a mortgage lender or mortgage broker would issue you based on verbal communication. So your mortgage lender would ask you, hey, what is your income? How much money did you make last year on your W-2? What is your credit score? Do you have any liabilities? Do you own a car lease, any student loans? What is that monthly amount that you pay? Do you currently have a mortgage? If so, how much are you paying on that? And then how much money do you have for buying a house, for down payment and closing costs? So again, without any paperwork verification, simply by your word and verbal communication, a mortgage lender can issue you a pre-qualification. And also there is no credit check done. And so this is called a pre-qualification. And because no documents were verified and no credit was checked, this pre-qualification will not hold as much value to your buyer agent as well as to the listing agent, the seller's agent, and the seller, because nothing has been verified. You risk having surprises come up later on. So let's imagine you do get this pre-qualification and you go look for properties, you found a property. Hopefully they'll accept your offer based on a pre-qualification. Again, many sellers and sellers agents are knowledgeable to know that this is a pre-qual instead of a pre-approval, and so they may not take your offer seriously, especially if they've got 3-4 other offers. But let's imagine they do accept your offer and contracts are signed, and now your mortgage lender does the actual work of approving you for mortgage. And then at that point, obviously your mortgage lender will have to do your credit check, and your mortgage lender will ask you for paperwork such as your tax returns, such as your bank statements and so forth. But because nothing was verified beforehand, and now they're being verified now, the chances of surprises coming up are really strong, and therefore those surprises can result in a denial of a mortgage, and of course you may not be able to buy a house. So with pre-qualification, you risk the chance of a buyer's agent not taking you seriously, a seller's agent not taking you and your offer seriously, and the seller also not taking you and your offer seriously. And if you are able to pass through all of those gate checks, you may still run into surprises and may be denied a mortgage once your mortgage lender does get all of these documentations from you and things are discovered, meaning your credit score wasn't as great as you had said it was over the phone. You perhaps don't have the money in the bank as you said you did, or perhaps some of that money is not going to be usable because it has been sourced properly. You deposited a large amount of cash into your bank, and you're not able to give proper answers to where this cash came from. So your mortgage lender may not let you use this money to buy a house. Or you initially had said you don't have any liabilities, you don't have any monthly commitments in terms of bills, but it turns out that you are paying $500 for that car or for that student loan. And so because these surprises came up afterwards, it may derail your chance of getting a mortgage and getting be able to buy a house. So what is a pre-approval then? A pre-approval is issued after you have submitted these documentation. So when you speak to a mortgage lender or mortgage broker, they may ask you to submit your last 2 years of W-2s, last 2 years of tax returns, last 30 days of pay stubs. They may ask to run a credit on your for your credit score and your credit report. They may check your liabilities to see what bills that you are currently paying, such as another mortgage, such as a student loan or a credit credit card, personal loan, as well as a car lease, car finance. And they may also ask to see your last 2 months of bank statements to see how much money you have, to see where the money's coming from, any large deposits and so forth. And they'll issue, after verification of all of this, then they issue you what's called a pre-approval. So pre-approval carries a lot more weight because it is issued after verifying your financial life. And so the buyer agent, the seller will take you and your offer a lot more seriously, as well as the chances of any surprises are really very minimal. At this point, you have been fully verified, and the only thing we're waiting for is a property. And oftentimes that pre-approval will say this pre-approval is subject to a property. That means go find a property, let us know which property, we'll do an appraisal, and then your mortgage commitment should be followed right afterwards. And also, by the way, the timeline, the time to get your final approval for a mortgage is much shorter with a pre-approval, because almost everything has been checked on you and about your financial life before you went shopping for a house. So once you do find a house, the final mortgage approval, mortgage commitment as we call it, is much quicker because a lot of that work was done ahead of time. So if you are in the market to buy a house, do yourself and your family a favor and go for a pre-approval. A lot of time, mortgage lenders and mortgage brokers will insist that you get a pre-approval and not a pre-qualification. So follow their advice. They are the experts in that field. They know what they're doing, and they're trying to help you and your family buy a house. And same thing with a real estate agent. Your real estate agent should be educating you about the differences between pre-approval and pre-qualification, and educating you about the fact that you should be getting yourself pre-approved rather than a pre-qualification, so that you minimize surprises later, you shorten the time frame to closing after you find the property, and also there are no surprises later on. All right, so this is Ishmael Collier, Isha Realtor, Associate Broker with eXp Realty. I've got a team of agents that are ready to assist, whether you're looking in New York City or Westchester or Long Island. And of course, eXp Realty that I'm associated with has presence in all 50 states. So even if you're looking to purchase or sell a property across the United States, we can still help you. My number is 914-215-1540, 914-215-1540. Ishmael Collier, Isha Realtor from eXp Realty. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye.